why the Pelicans should build around Zion and Trey. Got Lido, got 5, Ross, Chaz. We're also going to talk about the Javonte Green news. Let's do it.
First took away. Gas for this. Get your money's worth now.
Brought to you by the Scott Vicknair Injury Law Firm. If you've been hurt in any kind of accident, car, truck, 18-wheeler, or hurt offshore, Scott Vicknair handles it all. Give him a call at 504-500-1111 for a free consultation. Yes, a free consultation. Always fight for the win, and is always powered by 4D Energy. We are back from break. Shout out to Lido and Chris. They have a couple good shows out right now. Once again, Chaz, Ross, 5. Lido joined tonight. I wanted to talk. What's up, Gus? How are we doing, guys? Rachel. Gustava Aon. That's a new one. Shane, what's up, man? Donald, what's up, dude? Appreciate everybody. Make sure you smash the like button as always. So let's talk about the Javonte Green news. So he gets bought out today. He's gonna go join the Cavaliers. Jarrett.
Wait. Good for Javonte, man. Going to a playoff team. That's love.
Yeah.
Why are you mad at this move, Jarrett?
Well,
what explain. We need to break it down for the people that don't completely understand, because there's a lot of people on Twitter. I'm not saying the people here in the chat, YouTube, they have very high IQs. There's a lot of people on social media that do not understand why you should be upset by this.
well, first of all, as Lido said, shout out to Javonte Green getting 2 bags in one day. Hey, can't be mad at that. Can't be mad at that. But if you're the Pelicans, you missed out on an opportunity. The Cavs must have wanted him, right? You couldn't get a 2nd-round pick. And for those out there saying, the Pelicans did right by him, the Pelicans did right by him, don't send a role player to where they want to go. What are we doing here? Like, everybody doesn't get the notion. See, and I think Chaz has pointed this out. Like, no one should get the notion of, I get to choose where I want to go. Who the fuck are you? Like, this is a business. I'm trying to make sure my business is done well, right? I put myself in the best predicament possible. I'm not doing any favors for Javonte Green. What the fuck do I look like doing that? No offense to him. I think he's probably a really nice guy, but
no disrespect. If you say no disrespect, 5 is what Lido does. It's not. You say no disrespect, but because Jarrett, you bring up a good point. Someone had brought up. Shout out to our guy David. Trading a guy somewhere he doesn't want to go makes you look bad. This was tweeted at me. Trading a guy somewhere he doesn't want to go makes you look bad. Pels always seem to try and do the best they can for a guy they are moving.
Yep.
Lido, you had responded with family, compassion, love, NOLA, and a heart emoji. This is a business, not a charity. Once again, role players shouldn't have a set. And look, Javonte, probably a nice guy, should not have one single, he should have a request. If you can trade him, you trade him. I don't care if it's to a bad team or not. But some fans are not understanding that, Lido.
Oh.
How the fuck did he do that?
Come on.
Professional.
Hey, you said he's probably a nice guy. Again, shout out to him. 2 bags in one day, right? Going to a playoff team. I don't give a shit if he's a nice guy. I don't care at all. I'd send his ass to Timbuktu if I could. It wouldn't. You have no. You got no skin in the game here. What have you done for me? You ain't did nothing here, right? And this is not no disrespect to Javonte, because this is not. It could be anybody. It could be anybody we insert. We whose name we said. Dog, can you read that tweet again?
Yeah.
You said what homeboy said?
1 second. Once again, shout out David. Trading a guy somewhere he doesn't want to go makes you look bad.
Yeah.
Pels always seem to try and do the best they can for the guy they are moving. I don't think that's a bad thing. You then responded, family, compassion, love, NOLA, heart emoji.
Yeah. So you said it makes the Pels look bad.
Yeah.
What's their record?
They're December and 43. Is that where we are right now?
Yes.
So let me ask you this. So if they seem to do right by
13 and 42, sorry.
they seem to do right by guys. They seem to do right by guys who want to leave, right? What about your fans? Do you do right by them? What are you giving to your fans besides the increasing ticket prices in very bad food in the arena? Bro, I don't want no brother chicken, bro. Like, brothers, it's not about y'all. You just I didn't mean to even shoot at you. But I'm just saying, bro, you got Popeyes in the city. Churches. The ghetto eat churches? Listen, I feel like you doing good for everybody, but your goddamn fans. Like, you doing good for the Catholic Church. What about the people who actually give a shit? What about us? What about the people? I don't know how many people in here, but right, like, what about them? They in this bitch every night with us, rain, sleet, snow, win, lose, whatever. The people on Twitter, shout out to David, man. He cares. What an idiot. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just got so much compassion all around you, and you just giving it to the wrong player. Justin, what has Javonte Green done to say, I want to go to this team, Bobby? What has he done?
He's won 13 games.
You didn't send him anywhere. You didn't make a transaction. You didn't.
That's true.
You didn't send to this notion that, like, they didn't do anything. You didn't send him, so you didn't receive something in return. The transaction involves like I receive something and I give you something of value, right? Like, we didn't receive anything. You didn't do right by anyone. You didn't trade. You did not trade him somewhere you didn't want to go. You didn't do anything. Like, if you were just going to release him, just do it before the trade deadline, so that you free up a roster spot, and then maybe you can help facilitate other deals. Either bring in a young player, bring in a second-round pick, sign somebody off the. There's a million things you could have done. Doing this now just makes you look inept, asleep at the wheel. Like, I mean, it's just more of the same from this guy. I don't. Whatever. Who cares?
Chaz, you got any thoughts? Chaz, thoughts on Javonte Green being released or being bought out?
I just think it's really important people take care of their kids.
Yeah.
I think it's really important people take care of their kids.
Yeah.
And I don't view the Cavs as a step team. They're the team that stepped up. I just think, like, hey, man, it's a lot of priorities, man, for real. But I just think it's another example. David Griffin's done this several times. You saw it with Najee last offseason. It's like, well, Najee was a pending free agent. It's like, yeah, but you let him become a free agent on your watch. Let him be someone else's pending free agent. Get a second, even if it's a fake second. At least you're getting something you can attach in a trade, and you're starting to quote unquote restock your war chest. But pretty much, like, I go back to that. I think it was that Dallas Mavericks game with Javonte. He had a big three at the end of the game. Shit like that bothers me, because guys contributing to potentially hurting your lottery odds, and they have no future on the team whatsoever. So you might as well get them out the building early. And we know for a fact that Dallas was interested. Now, this is prior to the Luka trade, but we know for a fact that there were teams interested in Javonte Green's services. Clearly they are, because he's one of the first people fucking picked up on the buyout market. And so it's just things like that really annoy me, just because it's showing no foresight with this front office. But that's been their MO since this entire tenure, truthfully.
You would think too. You would think that, like, Griff's MO has been having to attach picks to get rid of things. You would think that even if that was strategically how you thought, okay, this is, I'm willing to attach picks to either get players that we need or to get rid of that, whatever. Like, even at a certain point, you have to restock that by making these kind of one-off trade JV for a couple seconds last year, trade Najee for a couple seconds, trade Javonte. Like, you have to restock and replenish if you're gonna operate like that. And he's not doing the second part of the deal. Like, you're just moving them all, but you're not replenishing. So it's just a failure.
So speaking of the failure, make sure you smash the like button. Thanks, Ko. The 2024 offseason, we're a recap, the 2024 offseason free agent signings / moves, okay? I'm going to go down the list, and I'm going to tell you where they ended up. Daniel Tice is not in the country anymore. He's in Europe. Trey Jemison, he's on the Lakers. Matt Ryan, I think he's still on the Knicks, but either way, he went to New York for opening night. Javonte Green now on the Cavs. DeJounte Murray, torn Achilles, probably won't be back until 2026. And on top of that, so those 5 guys that you
shout out to Zeke. Thank you, Zeke. Appreciate you, big dog.
Appreciate you, Zeke. You lost
My
Najee
God.
Marshall in the offseason, Jonas Valanciunas, Dyson Daniels, and Larry Nance. So, Jarrett, that's your offseason. Plus, you drafted Yves Missy and then traded up to get Antonio Reeves.
Plus them couple picks you had to get rid of to get DeJounte too. Don't leave those out.
Yes. And then, yes, that's the offseason, Jarrett. And people here are defending David Griffin. There was one tweet where he was like, "Why do you bash every single move?" I said, "What move can we celebrate? What move from the offseason 2024 till today? What move can we celebrate? If you want to say, hey, we drafted Yves Missy, there you go. That would be the easiest one. But there is not one single move he has done that has been productive. And if you say Trey Murphy, the extension, fucking my 3-year-old daughter could have done that one. So, Jarrett, please explain to me how there is not more. Not even how. Like this guy's like David Griffin's seat should be hot. It should be hot.
It should be boiling hot, just like a bowl of gumbo that I have here.
That boy good.
Hey man, sometimes it just happens that way. Listen, I don't know why there isn't more, not fanfare, but the opposite of that. Like more concern from media, people around David Griffin. Like his seat should be hot as hell. It should be the opposite of what it is outside because that wind chill is crazy. Like we got to do something about this. We can't be the only 5-6 people on a night-to-night basis talking about how inept this organization is. Like, what is David Griffin doing? Whatever he's doing is causing a ruckus. It's the opposite of what needs to happen. He hasn't done anything that has garnered any kind of positivity from or deserving positivity from this fan base. You raise tickets. There aren't any goodwill. We see Trey Murphy on the press run. I don't know what the hell is going on. That's the only good thing that's coming out of this. What can we do? I don't know, but we got to continue to do something where somebody noticed that David Griffin shouldn't be in this position for this franchise.
Yeah, it's well said, 5. Leader, you want to add anything there?
Yeah, man. Like 5 said, the same 5 people, same 5-6 people, they're speaking up, and like it's kind of like a microcosm of like the country. Like the fuck are we doing? What's happening out here? You know what I'm saying? And it's like the same. I watched the kicker for the punter for the Vikings get thrown out of a town hall meeting today, and I'm like, dog, we talking about the fans at this point, right? And it's like people. I realize that people who are sheep, they don't realize that they sheep because they too busy following. They follow motherfuckers. Like they never raise their head up to be like, oh shit, I'm about to die. I'm a sheep. You know what I'm saying? Like they never look up to be like, hey, like the dude asked you, Justin, why do you always bash the front? Why the fuck are you not? What are you celebrating?
When he asked me that, I was like, what could we possibly be celebrating right now? You got 13 wins. You have, and to Chaz's point, I totally forgot about this. Like, you got people like Javonte Green winning these games. It's like, get them the fuck off the roster. They have no future. And people, oh, it's a small transaction. You're overreacting. That's not the point.
You fucking sheep. My bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I mean, look, my class had 30 students in it. I'm not gonna be reacting to nobody who class had about 5-6 people in it. Like, so y'all, truthfully, I wouldn't be giving them all this energy, honestly. Like, truthfully,
it's been a long week, though,
yeah, it just, hey, shout out to them. I look, I understand it could be exhausting when you're like, damn, is anything good ever happening? But it's like, that's you. If you want to live in that echo chamber, you go live in it. Like no one's stopping you from living in it. But the facts seem to support that this is a pretty bad situation the Pelicans find themselves in. The Pelicans literally have 2 players that were starting that are no longer in the country. Like, and you got one dude who could be starting, Kelly Olynyk, who just got into the country. It's like this is chaos. So yeah, man, I would just move on to the future and try to look toward the brighter days.
Ross, like, and you see what the Saints are doing. That's a whole different discussion for Sunday night. Just raising ticket prices and all this other bullshit that the ownership group just doesn't care about it with the fans. But they also don't make, I wouldn't say bold moves, but they don't like, as you said, they don't like making noise. Do you think David Griffin loses his job this offseason?
No.
So then how can you tell me, like, how can, like, if like, hey, ownership, let's go check on the Pelicans. How can they look at this and be like, yes, you're doing a really good job here?
Well, I don't think they can. But I don't think it's necessarily about winning as much as possible. I mean, we've said that ad nauseum over the last couple of years. Like the singular goal is not to win. It can't be. It can't be. You don't operate this way if the singular goal is winning. So I don't know exactly what the goal is. I mean, I can speculate, but I don't know. I mean, look, I've thought about it a few times. Like what is it assuming that he even has an end of year? I'm mad we didn't move Bruce. We could have 100%.
This is
exactly what we're talking about. 3-4 seconds.
Let's read it for the audio. Let me read it for the audio.
Yeah.
So, who is the general? We make a really good point. I'm mad we didn't move Bruce Brown. We could have sent out Bruce with Javonte as a package deal and got assets back. Exactly. Go ahead, Ross.
For sure. No, I've thought about it a few times, right? And I think me and Lito might have joked about it, but like in the corporate world, you have an end of year performance review. Like at the end of this season, assuming David Griffin has a performance review with anybody, like whoever is in charge, what the hell does he say? Like, what's your story for this year? And like, assuming you can't use injuries again, like you can only like you use that enough. Can't use injuries anymore. Like, what's the story? What are you pitching? Is like, here was my successes for the year.
Look, like right now, there's a lot of. Oh, go ahead, Five. Yeah, something was it?
Yeah. I just thought about it. The reason I'm really upset with David Griffin is he lied so much, right? And now he's being caught in that lie. He told us that we'll figure it out. That didn't happen, right? Like, at no point has anything he said transpired. And last season he said, if we're in the same position that we're in, from the previous year, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you should expect different answers. I should be criticized. These are his words, essentially, right? This is what he said at the end of the media day last year. Mm-hmm. Like, you said this. Why aren't we seeing that sort of like demand from the front office for better?
Because they don't care about winning. They really don't.
They don't. No, if you look at it from a standpoint where you like, okay, if I were a team that didn't care about winning, what would it look like? It would look like this. Where you drag your fan base along, dwindle them with subpar people, or not subpar people, but subpar gamemanship and talent. Yeah, it would look just like this.
Mm-hmm. I would imagine. First, I want to say, man, shout out to LeVar Ball and the entire Ball family. I saw LeVar had a devastating surgery today, so shout out to him. And I don't know how LaMelo even playing basketball tonight. Like, it's crazy how fragile life is. But shout out to him. But also, as it pertains to David Griffin, I would imagine he's on the hot seat. I thought he was on the hot seat before things kind of got to this point. But see, the question is, where are you on the hot seat? Or is it now a fireable offense? Or is it like, all right, you just you don't have as much power as you once had, and you can't make these watershed moves? So with him, I was thinking of a good excuse. I was like, it's really nothing you can say, because no matter what, you got caught holding the bag several times. It's one thing you can blame it on Willie's first season. All right, Zion's hurt. What can I do? All right, Brandon hurts his toe. Zion tears his hamstring. What can I do? All right, this happens. What can I do? It's like, bro, year 5, you can do something. Like, it's up to you at this point. Like, and maybe you're just bad luck. It can be something as trivial, as stupid as that, to where it's just like, all right, we just know what isn't working. You may not be the problem, but you aren't the answer neither. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta go. And I would hope that they're at that point. I don't know if anything has symboled that. I don't know if it's they don't necessarily care about winning. I just think they don't know how to win in the NBA. And they don't have anybody there who knows how to win. Like Sean Payton and Drew Brees knew how to win. And, pretty much the same people in that front office, in that building, they just don't know how to win, and I think that's the same issue with the Pelicans. Like, you don't really have anybody from the player side. You don't have anybody from the coaching side. You don't have anybody from the front office that really is showing that they know what it takes to win at a high level. And I think that's more the issue.
Yeah. Go ahead, Lito.
Yo, Chaz's point about Drew Brees and Sean Payton. I was thinking about this with the Kellen Moore hire. I was thinking about this when Sean Payton asked to come back, allegedly, and he was told that we have a head coach. And I think this with Pelicans fans, when I hear them critique us for critiquing the team, the front office be god awful, and it let me know, like, the Pelicans / Saints, they got too big for their britches. They forgot who the fuck they were. They stopped living in reality. You still, yes, Sean Payton and Drew Brees bought you a championship, right? You are far removed from that. You are not a destination on either side of airline. You're not a basketball destination. You're not a football destination. You cannot tell a man who built this organization, nah, you can't come back because we got a coach. The fuck you mean? Get his ass out of it. You supposed to carry Dennis shit to the curb for him. You know what I'm saying? And then look what you did. You fired him. And then Sean Payton literally has been picking up everything that Darren Rizzi is now with them. Like, this organization, these fans, not y'all, chat. Like, I fuck with y'all. But like the
mostly,
the people that complain about us for holding them accountable, right? Like that's the problem. Like the Davids of the world. Like, they're the problem. They're the problem. Like, we have to realize the Pelicans, /Hornets, if I'm not mistaken, have won, I'm pretty sure I'm right on this, have won 3 playoff series in their existence. Is that right? They beat the Mavericks with Chris Paul. I'm sorry, Baron Davis won one, right? No.
Nah, they lost to the Heat.
They lost to the Heat, right? So Baron Davis and them, when they first came here, did not win a playoff series. They got to the playoffs. They won a playoff series. I'm pretty sure of that. Okay, Chris Paul beats the Mavericks. They lose the Spurs in 7. Then Drew and AD beat the Trailblazers. They lose 4-1 to Golden State? Is that right?
But even
what I'm just saying though is that, and then they have the wow, I'm tripping.
But even with that, Justin, it's like
2.
I don't even want to like roll those 2 tenures into one, right? Even if we just focus on this tenure, it's been terrible.
Yes,
like it's been a terrible
awful.
tenure.
Yes,
And the signs were kind of everywhere. There's a guy, Amin El Hassan. I think he used to be on the show. He might have been around the horn.
Man, where he at, man?
Yeah, but he used to work in the Suns front office. I used to watch.
He used to work for David Griffin.
Yeah, he used to work for David Griffin.
Yeah.
So one thing he said, I remember, I used to watch his show around like when the Warriors dynasty first started and shit. And he said, "Hey, what can I say? When I worked with good people, I did good. When I worked with bad people, I did bad." And it's like, whoa, you hearing that, but you're not like thinking, wait, so who are the bad people you was talking about here? And like shout out to Aaron Nelson. But aside from Aaron Nelson, like everyone who's come here who was a part of that Phoenix like thing with we don't know Mike D'Antoni, just he running the pyramid scheme allegedly. You got David Griffin's awful, right? You didn't totally like what's the word I'm looking for? You didn't totally try to just throw dirt on Aaron Nelson's character, and you just kind of person worked so hard to build up this reputation for saving careers, and you pretty much like unceremoniously get him out the building. And it's like, Griff, you're the common denominator, bro. Like you are the common denominator when things go wrong. It's been 3 head coaches. It's been a couple of different players.
2 medical staffs.
2 medical staffs. Well, 1.5.
But, 1.5.
Yeah, one and a half medical staffs. And it's like, bro, you're the head of the snake at the end of the day. It's like you were supposed to usher in a new tenure, a new thing, a new way of, this team existing. And you failed to do that. And I think he would admit that he's failed to do that, right? Like, I think he said it like in certain ways, like if our goal was to be like sustainable success, we failed to do that. But it's like, all right, so you gotta get the fuck up out of here. Like that's the long and short of it.
So yeah, it was 2 playoff series wins in 22 years. So I was mistaken. Go ahead.
Hey, you play that number.
Hold on. Just to Chaz's point. See, this is the issue. He'll say we failed.
Oh yeah, we failed.
But then turn that around and be like, I won in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Like, wait, what you mean you won? Like, how does he do this?
He's delusional.
Gotta be. Like, nothing's your fault. Nothing's your fault. Like, again, Chaz said, you're the common denominator of everything. You're the leader. At what point do you say, hey, this was my fault? Not once has he done this. We've all failed. But yet he won in Cleveland.
And don't forget when Bryson Graham like is like literally he says like he scouted Yves Missy, and when Yves Missy is the rookie of the month, who presents the award? David Griffin. Go ahead, Lito.
I just want to remind everybody of how much this organization is in hell. Me and Chris did a show the other day, and we talked about stats. And I asked him if he thought Jackson Hayes would get a banner, and he was like, "What you mean?" I'm like, Jackson Hayes is on the all-time list in like 3 different categories for the Pelicans.
Oh, what?
Jackson Hayes.
This should be good.
Is the all-time leader in 2-point field goal percentage.
I gotta say, it gotta be percentage. Yeah,
he's
top 10, maybe.
He's the all-time leader in true shooting percentage. He's the all-time leader in effective field goal percentage.
Makes sense.
And it's one more. I can't remember what it was. But I just to put things in perspective of like when you be feeling when fans feel like, oh, we too good for certain players. Cole, I wish I was trolling, dog. This is dead. Like this is dead. I'm so serious.
It make perfect sense when you say it because like all he was doing was dunking the fucking ball. Like,
I swear to God. Hey, but listen, Chaz, hold up. Yeah. The all-time leader in defensive field goal percentage is Robert Tractor Trailer, dog.
Oh wow!
Hey, shout out, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, man.
Another thing about this, did we? I can't believe
that was a cursed team.
Did we just let Jackson Hayes walk? Yeah, we just let him walk, right? He was the number 10 pick.
Number 8.
Number 8, and you just let him walk. Once again, another you had 4. You had 4. Yeah. You had number 1 and number 4. Okay, and you decided to get fucking cute. Like you could have gone with DeAndre Hunter and been fine. DeAndre Hunter, but then you missed out on your boy Garland. It's like, bro, he's made a mistake every year. He's made a mistake. Every single year he's made a mistake. And that war chest, I hate that term, but the war chest is gone.
Oh yeah,
so you have nothing to fall on now. You've had to attach some of your war chest to assets that you've tried bringing in. Javonte Graham was a disaster. You then go and trade him with 4 second rounders for Josh Richardson, in which you use him for 3 months. He hits Josh Giddey in the balls. He loses that game. He's gone. So then you
one for Kyra Lewis.
The Kyra Lewis,
13
that
pick.
You miss out on Halliburton. Like, it's every single year, and I can't believe there's people that defend this man. He's fucking terrible at his job. No disrespect, but disrespect. Like,
No.
job.
All disrespect.
Yeah, all the disrespect.
Yeah,
but I had to just for the no disrespect. No, just disrespect.
Hey man,
it's bad.
Is what it is, bro. I mean, truthfully, even like with some of his wins, it's kind of been like, players either overachieved or they peaked pretty early in the situation where it's like, all right, if I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, I say that was a win, but at the same time, like, all right, now you should have ushered them out of the door a little sooner than later, so you can benefit from them peaking. Like with Najee Marshall, people was calling Najee Marshall like this 3-point threat, defensive ace, 6-man candidate. I'm like, oh yeah, I need 2 seconds. Like, just take him,
let him walk.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It was a lot of situations like that where it's like, bro. What are you doing?
This is what we did. We should have
Billy Hernangomez thing.
Listen, Billy Hernangomez is untouchable because he got the Euro Cup MVP? Was that?
Yeah,
right?
It was, and then you didn't even really play him that season. Like,
he didn't play him at all. Shut up.
Like, what are you doing? It's just always. They call it retro trading, right? Where it's like, well, damn, I took an L on that. So I don't want that to happen again. But you're not learning from your mistakes. You still chasing something that's already gone. It's gone. Like you're not gonna get that same return now. You need to move on and move forward. The thing with Jax, like what was Devontae? Devontae had like a $12 million contract where only some of it was guaranteed. You had Garrett Temple expiring. You had Jackson Hayes. If you would have offered Jackson Hayes his qualifying offer, he would have had $8 million. That would have been expiring. And you got all these first. You could have traded for Karl Anthony Towns.
You could trade for Lauri Markkanen.
You could have traded for Lauri Markkanen if you wanted to do that. You could have did a lot of things. You could have went and got Michael with all that expiring salary and picks and all this shit. But you just kept thinking you were smarter than everybody else, and you was playing chess where everybody's playing checkers. But you was playing fucking Atari or something weird. Like you were nowhere near playing a thinking man's game. So it just that's just where we at now. But let's get into some positive stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go ahead, Jared.
No, sorry, I got this one thing, and it's really been pissing me off. He said in that interview, I don't think we really talked about this. He said in that interview that when they signed DeJounte, when they traded for DeJounte, that signaled for Brandon to get traded, right?
Yeah.
That's a lie.
Damn lie.
That's a lie. That was a lie. When you knew you had to pay Trey Murphy, that signaled for you to move Brandon. You knew that a year in advance.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way. You knew damn well you couldn't have DeJounte, Brandon, Trey, Zion being paid at the same fucking time. You knew that. You knew that you couldn't re-up Brandon, and you knew it. Mm-hmm. So it's all a lie.
Yep,
it's all a lie. And
he's good at that. He's really good at that, actually.
Oh, yeah, real good. But I'm not a liar. I'm a person that has morals. Also, I am in a board of directors of this youth run NOLA. Guys, I'm putting in the chat. Donate. It's for the kids. I'm running in a couple races. Hit the chat. Hit the link. $5, $10. I'm trying to get to 300.
Let's help out the chat. Appreciate that, Jared. Let's talk about Trey and Zion, actual positives of the team, though. Really, the only positives of the team. Ross, we'll start with you first. Is it time to, we kind of talked about this. I put out a tweet a couple days ago. I'm not surprised by some of the responses, but people are like, build around Trey, fuck Zion. Would you like to see them build around Trey and Zion and see what that looks like for the next couple of years, or pick one or the other? You'd obviously probably pick Trey over Zion right now, which is kind of crazy to say. What are your thoughts here with Trey and Zion and what they can possibly do here in the next year and a half with those two?
Well, you have them both under contract now for 3 more seasons after this. So you've got, it's not just a year and a half. I think I understand the point you were making, but yeah, I believe.
I meant the window.
Look, for the purpose of this conversation, we're going to talk about Trey as if he is a pending all-star, as if that is in his future. Okay. You've got, when you look at other teams around the league, the answer to your question is yes. But when you look around the league at the other good teams, you have to have two like legitimate all-stars on the roster. You have to. At this point, it's like a prerequisite for being decent, right? Like one all-star, you're probably not decent. Anything less than that, you're the Pelicans. But you got to like, so assuming that Trey can be that player, and I don't know, right? Like is he clearly taking a huge step forward? Absolutely. Is Zion still an incredible force whenever he plays? Absolutely. But like there are still some questions there. But I think there's enough talent, and the fit between those two is proving to be very interesting over the last like 5 or 6 games. That yes, and we talked about this a little bit before the All-Star break, but it'll come up I think a lot more over the next year or so. Nothing outside of those two is off limits. Nothing should be off limits in terms of putting the appropriate roster around those two players, right? And if that means you can bring in a player better than Trey or Zion, you should absolutely do it. This whole hierarchy of not wanting to, piss anyone off or making sure people get their turn or whatever that crap. No. You need to be trying to pair a third all-star, even though Trey's never made one. You need to be trying to pair a third very high-level player with those two guys and see what happens. I love CJ McCollum. I like everything he stands for. I love the way he plays basketball. He is not that player that's going to pair with those guys and bring you somewhere, okay? That third player is currently not on the roster at all. Misi did a great job this year. Like, incredible from what I thought and what most people thought he was going to do to what he's done. Awesome. He is not that third player. Okay, the third player, Herb, is not that third player.
That was the
third
name I was
player
going to bring up.
On the roster. Herb is probably the 5th or 6th or 7th player. If Herb has to
what I
move,
was implementing, Ross, is would you then be willing to move Herb Jones? And I don't know y'all's answers, but
yeah, I can't say it any clearer than anything outside of Trey or Zion is available to be moved for that third player. Anything, Waterboy, a lifetime supply of company burger. Whatever. It's all on the table.
Okay. Lito, thoughts on that?
I think that David Griffin is a liar.
He lied. Y'all niggas worship him. Lied.
I feel like
he's getting good.
Yeah, I'm professional, dog. Like
you are.
Be out here podding. Yeah. So yes, I'm totally in agreement with what Ross said. I think you build around these two. And can I pod? Can I pod?
Let's pod.
All right, cool. All right. I said this on the show with Chris. It's about to sound crazy, but just hear me out. You give the keys to Trey. You give the keys to Trey. Not saying he's a greater talent than the other person, simply because Trey is reliable. That's one. But it's other non-basketball related reasons. He has whatever it is, he has it. I don't even know how I did that just now. That's crazy. Damn, I'm good.
Happy birthday, Lito.
Thank you. Happy birthday, 5. I think that Trey has this personality, this innate ability to just get people to buy in. Justin, I was on the phone with you earlier. We talked. I told you he had Jokic. I've never seen Jokic laugh. I've never seen Jokic enjoy himself in a basketball related space other than when he was talking to Trey. It had me thinking like, damn, Jokic should have fucked up.
I stay ready. Sorry.
Nah, you get it. I think that Trey has this you want to make somebody the face of a team, and I'm again not talent related, but as far as like somebody who's dependable, who's reliable, who will show up. Yo, we was at that whatchamacallit? what was it, the fan day where like Trey was talking to the fans? He was introing the crowd. He was being an MC.
Oh, the practice day.
And I was like, damn, I've never seen a player do that before. That's always been somebody else's job. Like Antonio Daniels, that's been the Wow Wayne. Like that has never been a play. Probably Chris Paul would have did it. You know what I'm saying? But I think Trey has the ability to take responsibility for certain things on his team that Zion is very aloof with. So the answer is yes, you build around them, but everything else got to change. Front office got to change. Coach got to change. The bottom of the roster got to change. You need to add more shooting, more creativity. Yes, but yes.
Chaz, what would you say? Like, what's your biggest question, like Mark, regarding Trey Murphy? Like as a player, like Ross is saying, like he could possibly be an all-star. Do you see that in his future? And then if he does want to be an all-star, like what does he have to do, I guess, to get that? Because you look at like I know we think that Trey Murphy can be an all-star, but like in reality, making the all-star team in this market is really tough. And you got to be winning.
Man, that's a lot. I got to think about who the wings are in the West, but I definitely think he has the talent to do it. And I think you're starting to see like some guys are kind of subsiding. So if he continues this trend he's on, stays healthy, and the team is successful, I definitely think he could. I don't think if he plays exactly how he's playing now, and I'm talking about he don't even need to have all these 40-point games, but he plays exactly how he's playing now, getting the assists, rebounding, improving his defense. I think the numbers speak for themselves. He's looking like a 25, 7 and 3, 4 guy. Like, he's looking like that consistently. Now you can say he's looking like that because he has a larger usage, but he's also playing better. He's also like just playing better. And I think if you add more talent to the team, that would just make him consistently better. For me, I would just try to add a superstar level talent if possible. Like to me, I don't even want to gamble no more. I just want to draft this top pick and just go trade for the best player I could possibly find. I don't care what position that player plays, because at this point, like it's funny because I had to laugh to myself earlier, Justin, when you say should the team build around Zion and Trey, and in my mind I was like, who the fuck else? It's a real question. It's a real question because it's like the Zion thing is more of the question, right?
Yeah.
But it's like I don't think Trey is on a rebuild timeline.
Nope.
He's already on this. He's already on the second contract. Most guys don't stick around to the third contract, and since he's been here for so long, I don't think like typically when you draft a player, unless the player's like Wembanyama, and I got some questions about Wembanyama, honestly, but if you draft a player and if they're not like really good on their rookie contract, then you're looking at a player being really good going into the second contract, i.e. Trey Murphy. So by the time you draft a guy and that guy's going to be really good going into his second contract, now Trey is going into his third contract. So I think you're in a win now mode. Like, so like it's fucked up, but you got too much salary on the books.
No, and look, I don't want to cut you off, but I was just thinking the same thing, Chaz, because but I think the other side of that coin is that if Zion can play the way that he's capable of, and if Trey Murphy can take another half step up, you're almost looking at that combination of players being underpaid relative to like other teams' two best players, assuming Trey can be your second best player. Like if you look at, take like the Knicks or somebody like that, they're probably paying their two best players north of $80 million. Same with the Celtics, is probably even higher than that. And you would be talking about next year paying your two best players like $64 million. Mm-hmm. And so in a very odd way, if you can somehow land the first overall pick, you're going to be sitting there looking at, maybe 3 foundational pieces on the roster, obviously the rookie being very young, and something on the order of like $78 million on like between those 3 players next year. Mm-hmm. That's a huge,
and that's on the high end.
You keep that, and that gives you so much flexibility to do exactly what Chaz is saying. If I had those three pieces in place, everything else on the roster is for sale to go get me an all-star, the best player I can possibly get. I don't care what it costs. And I'm taking 3 years. I said you got Trey and Zion locked in for 3 more years. If you get the first pick, everything else and all future picks are on the table for me to go get a win now player, and you cross your fingers.
I'm gonna try to be in the middle since I really am. I'm gonna use Ross and Chaz's point and use Lito's point to make the same point. If I'm Trey and I get the keys, like Lito's saying, I'm demanding so much money from the Pelicans. If you look at the league and how things are moving, right, where you hear rumors about a guy like Ja Morant possibly being moved from Memphis. They're putting out no, they'll never move him. But the league's getting to a point where ownership is grasping control again. The Pelicans will be last in that grasp. They'll be willing to shell out a little bit more money if they want to keep a guy like Trey Murphy, who is charismatic, like Lito was referring to, right? Can talk in front of a camera, is poised to be on an Olympic team. At the next one, you want a guy from your team because you don't even know if Zion will be available. You'll have an opportunity with a guy like Trey Murphy. If you look at it from a brand standpoint, he's well in front of a camera, well in front of kids. He's the guy you probably want your daughter dating, white, black, brown, it doesn't matter. That's the kid you want to put in front of a camera. And you feel like he's responsible enough, respectful enough, right? He comes from a really good stock. This is what you want if you're a Pelicans franchise, right? You want stability. That's the guy you put the keys in. He may not be as talented as Zion or a Ja, but he has potential. And he looks good in front of a camera. I think you need that. And if you're Trey Murphy, you've been shitted on so many times. I'm more of a person of revenge. I'm just using all of those chips, right? Sitting on it, waiting, waiting for my opportunity to be like, no, I want it all. And it's not like, like Brandon's situation where Brandon really didn't have the leverage. People really like Trey Murphy.
Really like Trey Murphy.
So if you move on from him, it won't have like a Luka impact, but it'd be detrimental to your fan base. So it's a win-win for Trey Murphy if you get the keys.
Well said, Five. Lito, did you want to bring up some clipped up a we'll get the fan comments here in a little bit. I wanted to show a couple 2-man game with Zion and Trey and how they complement each other and why it makes so much sense and why and Ross said this, shout out to Ross, but like Ross said this, whatever it was a couple months ago, that the Zion Trey duo will be way better than the Brandon Zion duo. So I clipped up a couple things here. Do you know how to do it?
Come on, Justin, it's me.
Save.
So okay. So you can press play, or can you? Yeah. So the first.
Let me know you ready now.
Yeah. I'll just play stop, whatever. Is it in slow motion for you? There we go. Yeah. So there's just Zion and Trey right there. This is the one I was talking about right here, right? So it's just they do it unpromptly, but like Trey comes off. Damn, we don't have to cut it because it's hesitating. We might have to do the link. Let me try to get the link real quick. Hold up.
Oh, while we're waiting, shout out to 504 DO for donating to the.
Oh, appreciate you, 504.
Appreciate you, dog.
Appreciate you, 504. And shout out to Larry Morrow, man, because sometimes you just gotta pop out and whip it.
Punch somebody.
In a Maybach.
I was looking at that first replay just now, and I'm thinking about the Javonte situation. I'm like, yeah, this team needs some talent. It needs a lot of talent at that. Because I'm thinking there was a play, man, I don't remember. It might have been last game. Zion did like this crazy cross-court pass from the post to the left corner. I don't remember who it was, but they missed the three. And I'm like, yeah, you need about 3 to 4. Like even when we spoke about the Javonte, I'm not trying to shit on Javonte at all, but I don't even think Javonte is a role player. I think Javonte is a fringe NBA player. Like he was like one of the last people signed in free agency, and I guess depending on what you thought of him, he's having a bit of a down year. But I just, man, like, you can't depend on Hawkins. You don't know what you got in Reeves and Carlo, and Brandon Boston's not really like a 3-point ace, so you don't want to overextend him. Like, you need some talent.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin, I got it.
You sure you got it?
Yeah, man. Put that little screen away, bro. I'm good.
Go ahead.
Get out of here, bro.
Oh. Well, I'll say I can control it. Go ahead. Press play.
That's better.
No, it hesitates.
It's still lagging. Fuck, it's all good.
Yeah, I can just.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
That was fun. Really, fuck it.
It doesn't matter. This is fine. Like,
yeah,
we're professionals here. So, it's like that first, right? So, right out the post. So as you see, when you look in, I think it's DeRozan up top, right?
Yeah.
Once you look in and you have this guy spotted right there, and Zion recognizes that, it's too late, bro. Like that's a really good shot. But Jarrett, this is the 2-man game I was telling you about. So Zion's kind of like dribbling around. They just do this randomly, but this is the type of action like that is nearly unstoppable, right? So you got Braun, guarding Trey. I think it's DeAndre Jordan there. You got MPJ, Murray, and I don't know who that last guy is on the left block. But either way, when a shooter like this is sprinting off a screen like Zion, right, you have to respect Trey. So DeAndre Jordan has to come out. So this, like, as you see, look at the lane Trey Murphy has, the passing lane Trey Murphy has for Zion, just a quick short roll. And now, Missy's late, but this should be a lob here. And it should be two. You see Draymond Green and Kevon Looney do this all the time, right? Where Steph Curry, comes off the Draymond Green screen, he rolls, pocket pass, and then just Draymond throws it up to Kevon Looney. It's a dunk. Either way, you have Zion downhill. It's a foul. That's what you want to see. So once again, this is like one of the last plays of the game, and that's a 12-point game. But watch Scotty Barnes, because they see Trey Murphy coming off a double stagger, right? So Scotty Barnes is guarding Zion here. So why does Scotty Barnes has to go out because of respect Trey, which then leads to this terrible pass.
Oh my God.
But you see, like, just the simple action of Trey Murphy running off the screen on Zion Williamson creates that. Yeah. So 2-man game once again. So is that Najee Marshall guarding Trey there in the right corner? I believe
so.
Yeah.
The driving lane is insane right there.
See, Zion got to use his right hand, man. Still, but
that's a crazy layup.
Playoff game. LeBron comes out.
That's a great pass by Trey, bro.
Pocket.
Run it back again.
You thread the needle,
just sprinting off the screen. Go ahead.
Yeah, they hadn't done it a lot, right? Like, that's the scary part. Like, you can't believe that they've done this in practice. It took Brandon and Zion to get together. It took James to get there for them to start doing it. So, just being put in that situation, running off a screen, pocket pass. Now you're playing 3-on-2, like with Zion with the ball. It just makes a lot of sense.
Are y'all ready to laugh?
That's
look at the spacing you have with Larry Nance and Dyson Daniels.
No, it ain't. This is last year. It ain't just this video. Rewind this thing to the very beginning and look at the spacing on every one of these. It's the Chad. I just can't co-sign what Chad said in with any more fervor. Like, this team needs more.
I swear to God, I was looking at this freeze frame and I was like, this is a terrible team on the floor. This is a terrible fucking team.
Zion was walking the Lakers down.
This is crazy.
This is Zion here. Same thing, same action.
And this is why, like, the point Zion thing works in theory, because you put him out there with another person that can, have some kind of gravity.
So this is kind of the spacing that actually makes sense, right? So you have Spain, you got the Spain action. So CJ is going to come off a Zion screen, then Trey Murphy would then set a back screen on Sabonis and pop out.
Yeah.
So we get 2 on the ball there. So is that Keegan guarding Trey?
Probably.
Yeah. So Keegan's got to follow Trey no matter what, which leads to a wide open. Like, he just doesn't even.
Keegan, what are you doing, bro?
Like, this is like, it's just too easy.
It was a good pass by CJ.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see what the fuck DeRozan doing on that play. Like, why?
All right, this is where I clip this one up. This is where Trey's got to grow up a little bit. All right, so he gets Sabonis right there. If he were to fake up first and just act like he's throwing it up, he would then get Sabonis off of his feet and it would be an easier layup. Instead, Trey kind of just keeps the ball low, doesn't pump fake. This should be an alley-oop to Zion as you see Zion getting ready for it. Instead, Trey kind of forces this. And the reason why is a great job by Sabonis, but the more and more they do that, it's going to get way better. Go ahead, Lito.
Respectfully, that's the old Trey. I've watched Trey in the last 3 weeks become a foul merchant. He's understanding angles of how to get in certain places on the floor and draw the foul. I agree. To be honest, I think he should have just took the floater. It was no need to even all right, keep going. A little bit, right there. It's no even need because Sabonis has
should be a bucket. This should be a bucket.
Bro, 6'10", Sabonis is backpedaling. That's an easy pull up, float, whatever. And he's been knocking down the 10 to 15 foot pull up, in the lane. But also that opens up things for the next time they do it, right? Because then Sabonis would be worried about the jump shot. He, crashes in. It's a bounce pass to Zion. Like, I think that's the elements of Trey games I really want to see in this last half of the season. Like, what does it actually look like? I want to see him fail in these moments and then succeed.
And look, Go ahead.
No, just this last point about this. This is where like the Pelicans don't have to be cute about anything. Yeah. You could run this play 300 times.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything else.
No, you really don't. Yes, I'm glad we clipped that one up. And then Zion finishes it. Transition.
And a charge.
I thought that was a
charge. I don't know. Zion ain't out for the year after that.
That's
crazy.
So the reason why I clipped this one up is so Trey enters it into Zion. Bro, if this was Brandon entering it in, Dort would be like right here. But since it's Trey Murphy, he knows. Look at this lane that Zion has on his left side.
I'm looking at Hawkins right now.
Who is J-Dub guarding? Or is that Carlo? They're like fuck Carlo. They're just like just let him go.
This is
we got Carlo, Misi, Hawk, Trey, and Zion.
Look at what he's facing. He playing
facing
5-on-1.
Hardenstein, J-Dub, and Chet. And look at Misi. He's like, hey, look at Carlo. Zion's like, yeah, I know Carlo's open. I'm still going up with it.
Man, shout out to Jordan Hawkins. This remind me of like, I'm trying to think of somebody who the Saints had. That's just like, I don't know, fucking Kobe Fleener. It's like Kobe. No, it gotta be somebody on offense. It gotta be somebody. It's like
Kobe.
Yeah, like it gotta be somebody like that who's like, I was open.
And I hate that motherfucker so much.
It's like, bro, what are you doing, Jordan Hawkins? Like, just they need some talent on this team, bro. Like that's like really just looking at it.
Nasty. This
like,
lineup
bro,
is nasty.
You probably got a let me see, Hawkins, Carlo, and Misi. That's probably about 80% field goal percentage combined on the floor right there. And it's like nobody worried about them dudes, bro. Like, and that's like you gotta get some real talent because the context is very important. These actions are great, but they also beating the dog shit out the Pelicans right now.
Oh yeah, they're like up like 4 right now. Like,
yeah,
it's
so
bad.
And the Kings are one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA right now. So it's like you still got to get like some more options to make it trades like easier, Zion's like easier, and damn, this is crazy. But go ahead.
That's a good screen. That's a good screen right there. Yeah, I've never seen Zion set a better screen.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, there and then.
Dog, you see how quickly he turned his shoulder? Like he dipped his shoulder and got.
Dude,
nobody else is off the ground yet.
That's Chet Hardenstein, right?
I know that's Chet.
Yeah, like that's what's special about
Carlo.
Like,
once again, like
that's crazy.
They really don't care about Carlo. Like it's crazy.
Why should
that's a crazy.
They don't care about. Look what you just said.
Oh, poor Hawkins. And Trey is the only one that can throw up a lob to Zion. That's a nasty pass.
That's a great pass.
That's maybe CJ should take pointers from Trey.
Just to see it. Yeah.
That's why, like with teams like against OKC in particular, I really judge like players based on can you be productive against a good defense or a good offense? Can you really be productive? Because at all times, OKC is putting like 3-4 plus defenders on the floor at all times. So if you can still get your shit off, whatever, then to me you're probably a quality offensive player. But yet and still, it's like you gotta, man. They just need,
talent.
Lito, this
talent.
is the action. Like you could run this action too. Like the way Trey sprints, it actually makes contact. To where now they're like, oh, am I switching? Am I not switching? And then you're going downhill on Zion's strong side. So basically, the reason why I clipped this up, you got 2 on the ball, so Zion does his job. Trey misses it, but it's the process of the look. If this was actually an NBA player right here, it's a wide open 3.
You know what's wild? I think what's probably most people don't even understand about this. Trey didn't set a screen for a reason because like some people have rules. Some teams have rules. Like if you make contact, it's a screen. That's what they consider it. But Trey does something that like he just touches you, but it's not necessarily a screen. So if you're Hartenstein, you're almost in no man's land. You're like, oh, wait, is that a screen? Are we switching that? Are we not? And that's why you see him so wide open. And, Carlo being out there messes up the, the rotation of everything. But, hey.
Dog, look at the Messi Carlo spacing on the right side.
Then it's on like the action side, right? Like this is where everything is. It'd be different.
It's a Jose's side, but then you're going to Zion's right hand. So like I get it.
It looked like OKC got 13 players on the court right now. Like that's how it's like. Yo, what the fuck? Like it looked bad.
It's crazy.
Hey, they that's a great point Five made because like obviously when you guarding a man, my back is turned. So if I feel any contact on that, I'm going with that. Yeah. And the fact that he just ghosted it, that was a very cerebral play.
So yeah, the Carlo screen once again another good, not necessarily a good screen.
That's crazy.
I lied. I thought it was actually gonna be a good screen.
That's crazy.
He didn't set a screen.
That was a terrible screen.
But also, what I want to talk about this is that even if Trey
been an alley right there.
Even if Trey, if this is an actual once again an NBA player. Like we have an advantage here.
I think he can get a dump and dunk.
He could have dunked that.
Yeah, he could have dunked that.
But debatable.
In the context, you're probably down by 30 fucking points though. So you're not thinking about a 2-point dunk.
But either way, I'm just saying, like I'm just showing the action between Zion and Trey has now resulted in advantages for the Pelicans, where you get 2 on the ball and you have your choice. You can shoot it, you can throw it to Zion, you can throw it to Carlo, you can do whatever you want. But just involving these 2 guys in an action is what you should be doing at all times here the next 30 games.
Justin, that's a super confident shot.
Oh, yeah. He's a sniper.
Bro, to me, it just
look at what he's looking at. That's the fucking crazy part.
To me, it just highlights, like, it's like even with the Zion shit, I'm kind of like, if he just played, I wouldn't care like how much he developed offensively, considering like you got a guy who's historically good at the rim, like better than Shaq and all these people, right? And you got a guy who's probably going to be historically good from beyond the arc, and who's developing his game into a more interior game, getting to the rim as well. Like you would have to be one of the worst coaches in existence not to like take advantage of this pairing. As much as possible.
They were subbing for each other. They were subbing for each other.
But I'm saying even with this year, like if you're Willie Green, you're either super incompetent or you know that you're not going to be here next year. So you don't care about running actions and getting these 2, used to like being in action to get like to me it's insane. Like I just don't get it. It's so simple. Like you don't even need to be a good coach to do this. Like that's the thing.
Just look at this. Like so you have, I would say decent spacing, but once again, the Kings are just terrible. So when Trey Murphy enters the ball in, that's Keon Ellis, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to guard. Like there's just
look how Zach LaVine is guarding Jordan Hawkins. Look how Zach LaVine. He don't give a fuck that Jordan Hawkins is right there. He don't care. Like dog. This makes me sick. Get some talent on the team, dog. Please. Like what is you doing? Look how he guarded Boston compared to how he was guarding Hawkins. I mean, that's Jose. Look how he was guarding Jose compared to how he was guarding Hawkins.
I think it's a little bit of the same. You don't give
I mean, his foot was practically in the paint with Hawkins. I'm like, this is crazy.
Just a miss, but
yeah,
it's just all eyes on one. It's just the process of it.
misses.
It's the process of it. Look at this.
Yeah.
You know,
It's 4 people in the paint. Like, this is crazy, dog.
it's Chaz is right. Like, this is not even the same team because he said OKC, but I still see 6 people on the floor for Sacramento.
Like, first off, Levine's an idiot. Like, what is he doing? Like, what? Like, right here, like Zach, are you paying attention to the game?
See what I'm saying? Like, he got a foot in the paint and Trey out there. Like,
that's what I'm saying. But it goes back to if Levine wasn't there, Zion would have. I mean, Zion just makes such a great play. But
yeah, look at Keegan though. Look at Keegan trying to guard Jose. Like, he doesn't even know where he is.
Yeah, I mean, that's another wide open look for Trey. But that's the. I just wanted to show that those clips of like what they can do.
Good job, Justin.
Well done.
Professional.
Y'all think they implement any of these things moving forward, like to close this season?
What a new coach.
More of the nah, just with the current staff, like just to close the season, more of a 2-man action between those two. I don't really know how you involve Messi. I'm sure you have him doing something, but fuck, I don't even know Messi gonna be on the court.
Let me ask this, Chad.
Messi
Let me ask this. How many games in? So they're what, 13 and 43. So it's 47 games. No, wow, it's 57 games. Sorry. At what point do they shut Zion down for the year? At what game? When do they shut Zion down?
If it was me, I would do it probably 20 games left, 15, 20 games left. I've seen all I need to see, really. I mean, it depends because you're not really losing nothing by playing them, as long as you keep playing them the way you're playing them now. And if you gradually cut down the minutes, go from 25, 26 to maybe 23, some shit like that. Then maybe the last 10 games, you totally pull the plug. But I'm doing that with Trey as well because Trey's had, a couple of injuries himself. The only people I'm probably still running at the end of the year is probably Brandon Boston. Well, it's easier for me to say the players I'm not playing. I'm not playing Trey or Zion to close the year. Like, I'm not playing those two. I might not even play Messi that much, honestly, because he's getting kind of hurt.
As long as you do that, right? They both don't play.
Yeah,
Trey and Zion. Don't just play Trey and Zion sit. No, both of them sit.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
And I don't. Y'all think Borrego has any input at this point, or still don't know?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah, so that's why I'm almost a little happy that they didn't fire Willie like early in the season and try to go all out to save the season, because maybe like you win 5-6 more games you wasn't supposed to win. Maybe you might not, but also like, what's the point? Like, what would be the point? Because once DeJounte went out, it was like, the season was over before that, but it would have been totally impossible to evaluate Borrego. Like, I'm trying to see how you can even really evaluate him if you wanted to keep him on and move forward next season. How you can even evaluate moving forward? That's why I kind of think you should just clean house and just go ahead and bring that new voice in. Start off with a clean slate, somebody who ain't got no excuses, no ready-made excuses, and just go with that. But I don't know, maybe that's too much like right.
I think either way, they need to replace Willie. I'm starting to feel like I don't know if they will replace Willie.
I had a fire question for y'all, man. How would y'all replace DeJounte to start the season? Or how would y'all make up for the loss of DeJounte to start the season? Would y'all just go get like I don't know, I wasn't crazy about how DeJounte was looking anyway, and I'm looking for me a permanent point guard? Or would y'all be like, you know what? Let me go get a stopgap guy like Alfred Payton and just let him, that's what I would do.
I would.
Depends on what pick you get. For me,
so like if you get, let's say you get first pick, because I don't think they would run Harper at the 1, right? They probably run him at the 2. But
you thought CJ on the roster, so you just probably.
Shit. So you think CJ? You think CJ still here? Let's presume he's gone. Yeah. Just for this practice, CJ's gone, right? And you brought back, I don't know. You got a really good something else, but it's not a point guard. How would you just account for the loss of DeJounte at point guard? Would you just get like, fuck it, I'm gonna just sign Markelle Fultz and just let him run 20 minutes at the point and make up with a bunch of scab guys?
I'd let Harper run the 1 to start the year because that's where he's gonna be eventually. Like, yeah. Like I'm not. I mean, you gotta hit on the young guys early, right? Cool. They're gonna take some bumps in a row. Like, I think he has a really good dribble. He protects it really well. Can get in and out of the lane. If you end up drafting a guy like that, but if you don't, then look for a guy. I like Markelle Fultz. I think he can run a team. I know Orlando really doesn't love Cole Anthony, but
not at all.
Again, I don't know if I want another under 6 feet guard roaming around here. People just loving him, and then you can't move him. Like I'd like to see a 6'4" guard somewhere in there running the team.
I just feel like you can't start Jose or Misi next year at those 2 respective positions.
No,
my answer, Chad. If you're, because I think your hypothetical CJ's gone and we got Cooper Flag, right?
Yeah, like yes. Let's say you got Cooper.
Until DeJounte comes back, I'm just letting Zion handle point.
Okay.
Because you're gonna have to play Herb, you're gonna have to play Trey, you're gonna have Flag out there anyway. So you've got, Herb can help out a little bit with it. Trey's proven that he can initiate the offense a little bit. Cooper Flag, I think, can initiate a little bit. But I would just lean all the way into the point Zion thing, and I mean because it's already going to be quirky defensively with those 4 out there anyway. I think it could be a positive, to be honest, but I would just lean all the way into that. I wouldn't try to reinvent the wheel with some. I mean, you probably have to go get a veteran just to help soak up some minutes, but I would start my best players on the floor.
Go ahead, I just thought.
No. To Ross's point, I actually liked it, and then with Zion having all that responsibility, it forced him to be in shape.
Yeah, that's true too.
So
David Griffin did say that he loves point Zion. So I just thought about it. Justin Alito, I want to ask y'all this. Let's say they get Harper, because there's no way in the world Harper's 6'6". It's not the case.
You've been saying that.
He probably about 6'3", if that, right? But let's say he is. Your team just got really small overnight. Because now you got the 6'2", 6'3" point guard. You got a 6'6" power forward. Trey is 6'10". He's a 3-4, and you got Misi, who's not the biggest guy. To me, I think if you get Harper, that changes what I'm looking for on the trade market. I would have to know for a fact that Harper is the consensus number 2 pick.
Do you like? Let me ask you. Let me then ask you another question, Chaz. Do you think Dylan Harper is a number 2 pick?
In this draft?
Realistically, do you think he's a number 2 pick? Because look, I'll be honest with all of y'all right now. I haven't watched much of Dylan Harper. I've heard of him, I've seen highlights, and so on and so forth. I do know he has certain question marks. We're talking about is he really 6'6"? Do you think, all honesty, is he a number 2 overall pick?
I don't think he has crazy upside. I think he's the most polished, ready to play now player right now. If I was a team and I was building the team, if I was OKC or something, then I'm taking Ace Bailey if I can't get Cooper Flag. But if I'm the Pelicans, then I'm probably taking Dylan Harper. If that answers the question, if I'm trying to win right now and be good right now, Dylan Harper is probably more ready.
Well, you think Dylan Harper's ready?
I think he's more ready compared to
than Ace Bailey.
Then you got other guards, but guards they kind of all have like the Jordan Hawkins build. Like Spears needs to gain a lot of weight. Edgecombe, I don't really.
I'm just looking at it right now, like just off box score and like whatever. Like Ace Bailey's he's 6'10", he shoots better, he scores better, he rebounds better, he blocks better. Like,
but see, Justin, that's why I said I would need to know and believe in my heart that I would need to believe that Dylan Harper is the consensus number 2 pick, because that team isn't very good to say like those two,
which should tell you a lot. Like.
But their coach could just suck. Like, I didn't think Zion's Duke team was very good, and they had like some supposed to be really great college players, right? But I think it depends, man. It depends on where I fall in the draft. If I'm third, I don't give a fuck about nothing no more. Now I'm taking best player available. Third, fourth, best player available. First, Cooper Flag. Second is the only real debate because of Dylan Harper's height. I think that's the only reason it's a real debate. Yeah. But
is there anybody like last question? Is there anybody like y'all are thinking about not Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, or Cooper Flag? That would be good for this team.
I saw some Edgecombe. What you got, Lito?
I like VJ. I like VJ.
Man,
go ahead.
Only reason I'm scared of VJ because the last 2 players that came from the Bahamas been disappointing as fuck, and that's with Ayton and Buddy Hield, because I'm comparing Buddy Hield to Jamal Murray. That's why I say that. But and fuck Jaylen Brown, I guess. But man, y'all, some people say Jocko.
They got some, bro. They got some talent, bro. Like Trey Johnson.
Oh yeah, he nice for Texas.
Yeah. Boogie Flan, your boy for Illinois. You just said his name, huh?
Spears?
No,
Joe.
Yeah, him.
Didn't what's his? I mean, I didn't watch the game, but I feel like I read an article. Didn't Dylan just destroy him a week ago or 2 weeks ago or something? It seemed like when they played, that was like the story was that it was just a clear.
See, Dylan to me got like five say he got like the it factor, kind of like with like that Tyrese Maxey undersized guard, can score, like real skill based leadership qualities. He got that it factor, but you would have to know the rest of your team is ready for that guy.
So that's kind of like the thing with the other players in the draft. I like Derek Queen. I like Danny Wolf, but the team would have to be so much more streamlined right now. I mean, excuse me, it would have to be so much more streamlined than it is right now for them, because you already got a young big in Misi who I don't know if you necessarily have a plan for. Like, he kind of going through what Trey went through in the sense of like, I'm just figuring this shit out on my own.
Say Misi?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like they got a lot of talent in this draft. I don't know. It's probably like maybe 3 or 4 sure things though. Go ahead, Fab.
Shout out to Ronald. Ronald is like where I don't see him as James, but I think he's like a Jalen Brunson. I really do. I think he has like that. I can do whatever I need to do to win a basketball game right now. I can control everything if I need to. Get to my right hand, left hand. I don't know. I think he has a lot of game, but I do think like he needs to be under a coach that's gonna like push him, like even in the right situation. It took a couple years for Jalen Brunson. I mean, I think I saw it early. Like, nah, he gonna be nice, and then the fact that he got to New York and everything kind of took off. But again, his father played in the league, just like Harper's dad. Like, there is a relationship.
I'm just reading up on Dylan Harper. I mean, they got him listed at 6'4" here, Chaz, but
that sounds about
Harper
right.
plays an advanced skill, feel for the game, big time shot making ability, loves to operate with the ball in his hands, can score from three levels. I mean,
he nice, Justin. You asked me if I could see him.
We gotta start doing our film breakdowns with these guys. Those would be fun.
The only thing that go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you asked me if I could see him as the second player in the draft. I could.
Okay. I mean, like y'all talk like.
I would just need to know what the rest of the team looks like, because
yes, but you're not gonna know, Chaz.
See, that's the thing. I can't have a 6'6" power forward if I draft Dylan Harper. Like, at that point, some shit really got to change. And I do believe that him and DeJounte can play together. The thing I worry about with a young guy like that, especially if the rest of the team isn't solid, is that you might end up with a guy who just tries really hard. Like he's a try hard, he's developing, working his way, like a do-it-all junk player earlier until he gets the reins to be, who you need him to be, because Dylan Harper not gonna have no crazy usage unless you get rid of CJ and you ain't worried about DeJounte. He ain't gonna be playing probably. But then it's like, is that team good? Now you really need a really good 5 or something like that. So it's gonna be interesting. But y'all want to talk about the possibility of a John Morant thing since he got thrown out there?
I was gonna wait. I was gonna wait till Sunday.
Oh, it's on you. Man, I don't think it's a real possibility.
That's like, like there's just no, like, first off, Memphis would be so stupid to see like what they did with Luka, right? The whole Luka backlash. That they would be so stupid to trade Ja. They would be so stupid.
Dog. If Luka got traded, anybody.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, I'm with you on it. But everyone's seen the backlash. General managers, ownership is seeing the backlash.
I don't see it that way. I don't see it.
Of course you don't see it that way.
I think I think Ja always hurt too. That's another thing.
I
think the GMs and the owners, I think they see it as taking their power back. I
saw Jared's tweet today. Yeah. That's what
I didn't even see that. That's crazy. But yeah. I see it as them taking, like, I'm gonna show y'all who like really run this shit. So
think about it. The T rates are going down, right? There's not a lot of excitement. Yeah. We got a lot of money in this. We're giving players guaranteed dollars, but we're not getting guaranteed product. The return on investment isn't as high as, as they said. Okay, it's time to pull back some of that power was given to the players.
It was a weird report for me. I mean, unless then there very well could be, with some of the history, and Chaz said it, he does miss some games, but like he's got 3 more years under contract. And
you about to pay Jaren Jackson Jr., so you got to kind of keep that team together.
And just go look at the number. Like when he plays, they win. Like they win basically twice as much as they win twice as much as they lose when he plays.
So
like 170 and 100 or something. Like in second in the West again this year. Like when he plays, they're a problem. Like that one seems kind of odd to me.
To Ross's point, I've been looking at his numbers. They consider him having a down year right now. And I was reading that this is totally conspiracy theory-ish, but like if you look at how they playing now, they're playing without him being the engine of the team. So it kind of looked like they're preparing maybe for a future without him. I'm just saying.
Hey,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Luka got to the finals.
That's crazy, dog.
You know what I mean? That should put the precedent for anything is liable to fucking happen.
I think with that one too, I feel like it could go in both ways, right? So where it's like, I don't want to be like them, because now you're like, I don't want to look that crazy, but at the same time, I feel like if they could have pulled a deal off, like when Tyus Jones was leading that team and they were still playing well, that probably told them something because Ja was out the whole time. But also, if they could have pulled the deal off for that, who they had? They was trying to move Marcus Smart and
who was it for?
It was Jimmy. It was Jimmy, for Jimmy. But I'm saying if it could have been for anybody, I like high level player for real, like a high level wing. I feel like they would probably went to the offseason like, well, we could build out the rest of this roster. Jaren Jackson Jr. took the next step. Maybe they try to move on from Bane or somebody like that. I don't know what you're going to get on the market for Bane, truthfully. I like Bane, but he's a guy that's more – he's like CJ. He's more valuable to them than he would be somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
They did free up some like long-term cap space with those couple little moves they made at the All-Star break. And I think next year they might only have like 140 million on the books or something like that.
Oh yeah, they got if they 30, right?
Yeah. So if you can move, if you can move off of somebody like Brandon Clark, like some of the spare parts, right? Like you could free up like a reasonable amount of money.
I just forgot they gotta extend Santee. He won a big contract. He the restricted free agent.
Yeah, but I mean, you just drafted.
Yeah, he was.
If I'm them, I go big. I go big game hunting this offseason. And they're just trying to with Timmy. Like they're like a move away from being a finals contender.
I'm telling y'all, this offseason, everybody gonna be calling about Devin Booker because Kevin Durant to Houston kind of seemed like, fuck it, go ahead.
They're breaking that team up.
Yeah, like that team.
Oh yeah,
over.
have to. Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, good stopping point here. Appreciate everyone that pulled up. So let's get to some super chats. But Ezekiel, as always, appreciate.
Thank you, Zeke.
Man, what the likes that?
Yeah, make sure you smash the like button.
Game that I was born say 97 likes.
That's it.
Game full of
Come on, man.
BI section.
That's about right. I'll never forget that D-Wade game winner on Baron Davis. Yeah, it was tough.
Oh,
That was game 1 or 2. It was definitely in Miami. It was 2.
That was 2.
It could have been. It was tough. DJ, what's up with the BI fanboys in the comments? I don't know. They're such fucking losers. Smash the like button. We'll see y'all.
Damn, that y'all ran Justin out of here.
No, it's just like I've been dealing with them like the last 2 weeks, bro. Like Brandon got traded for Kelly Olynyk and Bruce Brown. Like that's where we're at, bro. Like just it's over. Okay, like you waste your time following Brandon Ingram, who's just in a SpongeBob outfit like a couple of days ago, and he still is not even playing. So smash the like button. Appreciate everybody. I gotta see the screenshot, Chaz. I can't believe you haven't seen it yet.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Smash the like button. We'll see y'all on Friday. See y'all.